When I look in the camera, I see this like weird black thing in my eye. I wonder if that's actually what you guys are seeing. Makes me look really weird. Huh. Anyway, not trying to digress, but okay. So, we want to talk a little bit now about, can cannabinoids or CBD help in the management of respiratory diseases? So, newsflash, asthma has actually been treated with cannabis for centuries, dated back to at least the 18th century when it was included in the first edition of the New England Dispensatory. So, way back then, they knew that there was value in the cannabis plant for treating the condition of asthma. And though the exact mechanism by which cannabis exerts its anti-asthmatic effects is not exactly known, it's thought to work by reducing inflammation in the airways. So we know that the cannabinoids have an anti-inflammatory property. And so in the airway, really of any of these diseases, because because the airway isn't functioning in a normal way, whether it's by restriction or just a decreased capacity to exchange oxygen, there's always some inflammation involved. So the cannabinoids are anti-inflammatories. So that's what they think is going on here in the setting of respiratory diseases, especially asthma, that the cannabinoids are decreasing inflammation. In fact, there was a study that was published in 2009 that found that THC, which is your tetrahydrocannabinol, was a major active component in significantly reducing inflammation in a rat model of asthma. CBD can also play a role in the anti-asthmatic effects of cannabis by inhibiting the breakdown of another compound known as anandamide. And I've touched on this before. Anandamide is one of our endogenous cannabinoids that we make. So we make anandamide, which is our bliss molecule, and we also make is 2-AG. That's the other the other endocannabinoid that we make. So we make these endocannabinoids, and at some point they've got to be broken down and gotten rid of, and then new ones are made, and that's the way the body works. But what they think is going on is that the CBD, if you add CBD, it stops the breakdown of the anandamide. So that's cool. Anandamide it's your endogenous cannabinoid. It's produced naturally in your body, and it is known to have anti-inflammatory effects. So with COPD, there's also some evidence that suggests that cannabis can be beneficial in this setting as well. And there was a study that was published in 2012 that found that smoking cannabis was associated with improved lung function in a group of 382 COPD patients. Additionally, a survey conducted in 2013 found that nearly 1/3 of COPD patients who used cannabis reported improved symptoms such as cough, phlegm production, wheezing, and breathlessness. Now, it should be noted that most of this research has been conducted based on self-reports by patients rather than really objective measuring, such as spirometry, which is a test that we use to measure lung function. All right, in pulmonary fibrosis now, the research for this one with cannabis is extremely limited. But there was a study published in 2015 that found that cannabinoids were able to significantly reduce the inflammation and the lung damage in a mouse model of pulmonary fibrosis. Now, there's more research needed, of course, to really confirm that cannabis is beneficial, but these preliminary findings, do suggest that cannabis can have a potential as a treatment for pulmonary fibrosis. So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper with this particular problem of pulmonary fibrosis. Probably get back to you on Friday with this one. But I also want to talk a little bit more on Friday about how the cannabis would possibly even work. So let's get a little bit into the science, nerdy part of it. And for those of you who are like me that want to know why and how something happens, then that's what we're going to be talking about. And then we'll also be going over the best way to consume cannabis if you have a pulmonary disease of some sort, like we've been talking about. Alrighty, that's it. You guys have a great rest of your day. And if you know anybody that needs a cannabis coach, send them my way. Thanks.